Welcome back to today's Futoshiki. As you can see, we're going to be attempting a 6x6 and as you can see here, we've got a new one up on the screen. All the numbers, if you are new here, must add or go up to 6 in each row and in each column. Now we've been given 2 rows already that have been filled in, which is quite nice. And the arrows here mean whichever arrow it is pointing to, or sorry, whichever box it is pointing to, that box is the smaller number of the two. So you could have a 1 here and a 3 here, for example. So let's dive straight in and see what we can do. So just by looking at this so far, I can see in the right hand column we have got we've got 4 numbers here. We've got 1, 2, 3 and 6, and we've got 2 numbers that are bigger than the other numbers. So I think we're going to be needing to fill some of these in. So this box here can obviously take a 6, can't take a 5 or a 4, could take a 3 or a 2, remember, as well, and same for this one as well, 6, 3, 2. However, these other boxes can only take a 1, 2 or a 3. They cannot take the 6 because obviously the 6 has to be in one of the larger ones. Now obviously both those 2 middle ones as well cannot be a 3. Only one of them can be, but we don't know which one it is yet, so we just need to keep pushing on for now. So let's see what else we've got. So coming down, I think this one here is probably the next best option. This number is bigger than a 3 and it's not a 5, so it has to be a 4 or a 6. Useful information. Let's have a look with this one here then. So this one here must be less than a 4, so we can say that's a 1, 2 or a 3, but it can't be a 3 because obviously there's a 3 at the top here. Okay, so that's given us a bit more information to go off of. Let's see what else we can try and fill in as well. So a lot of the times with ones like this, you need to be looking in at sort of some of the extreme numbers, so like 1s and 6s. So I'm actually going to use these 2 6s to help me identify the 6 down here. Have a quick look now and comment below if you can within the next 5 seconds, if you can spot what that's going to be. Pause the video if you need some more time. But we've got a 6 somewhere. It cannot be there because that number is smaller than this one. It cannot be here because this number has to be smaller than the one next to it. And it cannot be here because that's a 1 or a 2. So this here must be our 6 right there. Perfect. Smash a like on this video if you got that one right. And if not, well, keep trying. We'll get there eventually. So let's see what else we've got. So where else can 6s be? Well, we could have a 6 here or a 6 here. They would both work. Also, we could have a 6 here. Can't have a 6 there, but can have a 6 there. So I think we're going to have a look across here now. So this one can't be the 6. This one can't be the 6 because that number is bigger than it. This one cannot be the 6 because of this one. This one can't be the 6 because of a few reasons, that and this. This one can't be the 6 because of the arrow being above it, so it must be smaller. So this one here must be our 6. Now that narrows it down to just 2 possibilities left for the final 2 6s. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about those, except we are going to put them in because it means this can no longer be the 6, and obviously it couldn't have been because of that one. But let's see what else we can do. So we've got a few other numbers here that we can try and fill in. I think we might try and go for these 2 next. So we've got a 1, 2 and 3. So this here could be a 5. And the reason I suggested going for this one is because it can be a 5, can be a 4, 3 and a 2 and a 1 as well. But this number here can not be a 5 because that would require the other one to be a 6. Can't be a 4 and it can't be a 3. So this here is only a 1 or a 2. Okay, so these 2 numbers here can only actually be 1s and 2s, which means this number must be our 5 in the column because these are the numbers filled in. That can't be a 5 and that can't be a 5. So the last place for a 5 is here. Now we've got 2 numbers here and here that could also be 5, so I was just going to fill these numbers in as well. So we need a 5 somewhere one of these two is going to be a 5, or potentially this one as well. That is another option. All numbers that we need to consider. So I think we should have a look somewhere else now, because we've sort of exhausted that. So we've still got 1, 2, 3, 6 down the right hand side. Nothing's really changed from that. Let's try these two here, see if we can find anything from this. So this can't be our 6, and I think it can be everything else from a 5 down to a 3. Cannot be a 2, because obviously this would have to be a 2. It can't also be a 3, because if this was a 3, this would have to be a 1 or a 2. So this can only be a 5 or a 4, meaning this can only be a 3 or a 4. Okay, because we can't have a 2 or a 1 there, which means we're left with the final numbers as 6. So let's see if we can limit the other ones. No, I don't think we can, unfortunately. No, there could be some other numbers as well there. Okay, let's try somewhere else. Let's try this one here. So this bottom one can't be a 6. It can be a 5, can be a 4, can be a 3, can not be a 2, but this one here could also be a 1, a 3, or a 4. So that doesn't really help. That leaves quite a few numbers. We'll come back to that in a second. If you've spotted a number that I've missed, well done. You're getting better than me at this. But yeah, so let's have a look at these two here now, and then we'll go to the left-hand column, because I think we might be able to find something with that. So, two numbers here. This can't be a 6. It can be a 5 though, unfortunately, and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and so on. Yeah, I think I've spotted the breakthrough. So it's in this row here actually. Okay, so this number cannot be a 5, because that one would have to be a 6, and it cannot be a 6 because of the number of 6s. So if that's not a 5, that can't be a 5. This is the only number that can be a 5, because this can't be a 5 and this can't be a 5. So we can fill that in there as a 5. Happy days with that, meaning there should only be 2 places left for a 5, or maybe even 1. Nope, 2. So we've got 1 5 in this column here and 1 5 in this column here. This cannot be the 5, this cannot be the 5, this can be the 5, so we'll pop him in, but the other 5 could be there or there, that's fine. And then in this one, this could be our 5, or this one here could be our 5. Okay, so that's good, that's those filled in. Let's see what else we've got. So I think we're going to continue going across in that pattern here. So this can't be a 2. This one can be a 2, so we don't know anything about that actually. Let's try the left-hand column. We've got 3, 6, and 5. So they're all 1, 2, and 4. We've got a 6 there. That can't be a 6. I must have missed that. So we've got a 6 there, which means that's going to be our 4, because it has to be bigger and it can't be a 5 or a 6. So that's our 4, which is nice. That's going to help us hopefully put a few more 4s in. He says begrudgingly, as it's not. So I think it does actually. So this cannot be a 4. This cannot, this must be the 4, because if this was a 4, this must be a 5 or a 6, and it can't be, so that has to be the 4. Leaving us with just a 1 and a 3, which at the moment we don't know which way around they're going to go. Quite a tricky one this. So let's continue looking through these. So we've still got our 1s and 2s here. Popped our 4 in there and our 4 here, so that means that can no longer be the 4, which means it must be the 5, because it cannot be 1, 2, or 3. So that's our 5. This here can still be 3 or 4, we do not know yet, but that means this one here can't be our 5. So the final place for the 5 must go here, so we can take this 5 out, meaning this in. We've got our 4s mostly in. There's only 2 4s left. 1 here that it can't be, so that one there must be the 4, and that, this one here must be the 4, because this cannot be the 4. Okay, so that pops a 4 in there, which means we can run across to the final 4, which is here. Okay, so we're left with 1, no 2 and no 3, so that must be our 3. This must be our 2. Okay, which means that can no longer be the 2, so it has to be the 1. Because it can't be the 3, because the 3 is there, which means that's a 2. This here, the only number left is a 3. Okay, which means we can take our 3's out of these here. I'm sure I'm forgetting to take some numbers out, a 2 there as well. So we've got 3, 6, 3, 6. Neither of these can be a 1, so that means this has to be our 1. This cannot be the 3 anymore because the 3 is above it, so that's our 6. That cannot be the 6 anymore, so that's our 2. That's our 1. This here has to be the 3 because of the 6 next to it. This here must therefore be the 6. We're left with 1 and a 3. This must be the 3 because the 1 is already in the column. And we're left here with a 1. And finally, 1, 2. Excellent. A tricky one, but good to sort of work through the logic and get a full understanding of how they work a bit more. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, smash the like button, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one.